Okay, welcome to JDS Sport Talks video. I'm sorry if the camera is a bit glitchy and not smooth. Hope it's not in the actual video, but from the previous showing, it is very glitchy and not smooth. If it's bad enough, you won't even see this video, so it won't matter. But I have no idea what to do try that again. I have no idea what to do for a video today. Really, I was just looking for a video, and I thought, why not talk about how Liverpool could possibly improve our squad and really just our game in general. People might say, you won the league, why do you want to improve? There's always room to improve. Like, for example, our other centre back, Van Dijk. I think, well, Van Dijk's obviously, he's set in stone. If we can keep him, which we assume we would, I don't see why he would leave. What I'm doing right here on my phone is I'm bringing up an at OneFootball. Like, you cannot see shit there. There you go. OneFootball. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna look at the players and shit and see who I think should move and not really move, but who we need to improve on. I think midfield-wise we're pretty good. Henderson was good this year. I think I've always been a bit dodgy with Henderson, whether I not like him, but whether I think we should get rid of him and maybe improve. But I think what he's showing this year, he can stay. I have nothing against him. I think we need to give Keita a bit more of a chance next year. We've got a few untapped potential players in the ranks which we could really use. Apart from that, I think our biggest spot, as I said before, is centre back. I think like for a long time we have been waiting for Joe Gomez to really break through and become that proper first team centre back, because we've always been bouncing around between recent times, bouncing around between Lovren, Matip and Gomez and a few other players in history. For a while, I don't think we've ever really had a strong second centre back. Before Van Dijk, we never really had a strong who was our centre backs, in my opinion. And after Van Dijk, now we just need to find another spot, another person to put on the spot. I don't know why this app's still trying to load. I don't know what it's doing. But yeah, I think our best little thing for us to do is to forget about Gomez now. He is getting into his mid-20s. I feel like we need to look more into the future a bit, what we're going to do in 10 years, because us being good now is pretty much solidified. We should be good for the next few years, at least. And as long as we can get young players in, because young players should want to come to Liverpool because of how well we've done in recent times, I think it's more important to solidify a decade in the future, or maybe more like 5 years in the future, then try and solidify the next 2-3 years, next year or the year after. It's better to get a 23-year-old who might be a little bit dodgy, or some like 20-year-old, 23-year-old who might be a little bit dodgy now and will be really good 2-3 years time, than to find someone like Thiago or someone who is a solidified centre-back or a solidified player in any position, and have them go off in 2 years because they've reached the point where they start declining. I think it's more important, as I said, to look to the future at this point in Liverpool. I'm bringing up Liverpool squad now on my computer instead because I've given up on that app. So yeah, as I said, I think the biggest thing for us is not to remove Joe Gomez from the team, but to maybe bring someone else in, which I think might make Gomez leave anyway, because I feel like for a long time he's been waiting for that spot to come to him. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, obviously, but I don't feel like he's really looked like... I feel like we would have given him more chances if he was really fighting for that position. But we've always seemed to play Lovren and Matip over him. And I think now, I'm trying to find him here so I can see how old he is, but I think it's just a bit too late. Joe Gomez, how old is he? Oh, he's only 23, so he has a bit more time than I think, but I think really someone like Upamecano, whatever you say, the Leipzig player, he'd be a good bring in. I haven't really looked into it too much. There's a few other players I think we could definitely bring in as a younger centre back, which we could use hitting their peak in 4 years' time, not maybe in 5 years' time. Joe Gomez hit his peak in 2 years' time, and that could be good to keep him around and maybe look next year or the year after for a better centre back, and just hope that we can hold together with him and Van Dijk for the time. But by that time comes, we need to find another top string centre back as well, because if Gomez doesn't come to anything, which is 50, I think it's 50-50 whether he comes really good or if he stays how he is. Van Dijk will, how old is he? He is getting there, he's getting up in the ages. Virgil van Dijk. Where is he? There you go. He's 29. So as I was saying, a few years time, he's hitting late career. He'll start going off in. Well, he might not. Play like Chiellini, just keep going. But eventually, he's going to start going off. We're going to have to look for another top string centre back, and we don't want to be looking for two. We don't want to find ourselves in a position where Chelsea is, where they've got players like Rudiger and I don't even know who the other one is, but they've got two real, I guess, second string defenders, centre backs, as their first ones. You know, by second string I mean the more supporting centre backs. You've got the main guy like Van Dijk is, and the supporting guy like Matip, Lovren, Gomez. Lovren's already gone, by the way, if you guys didn't know. He left to Zenit. I think in the defence we are pretty okay. I don't think right back, obviously we've got Trent. I doubt he'll move. Well, he won't move. So we've got that position solidified for now. I don't know who our actual backup is. I assume it's probably Milner or something, but we have to find someone. He's been so good for us. He's such a diverse. He can play anywhere. There's a term. What's the term? You know what I mean? Where a person who can just do it, he doesn't really matter. He's very I can't think of the term. He can do a lot of different positions. He's very versatile. That's the term, versatile. Very versatile player. I think he does well as our backup, right back and left back, really. I don't know who we have as our actual backup, right back and left back. I know we have Trent and Robertson, but who's the guy who comes in for them when they're injured? I don't actually know who it would be. I'm assuming it's probably Milner. So I can't see anyone else here who it could possibly be. Adrian, I'm surprised he hasn't left yet. I'm hoping Alisson continues next year in a better way than he ended this, because after we got our hands on the actual trophy, after we solidified getting our hands on the trophy, he went off a bit. He was a large part of us not getting the highest points ever record, because he just, I don't know, like if you look at the Arsenal game, for example, we had 20-something shots to their 5. Like surely he could have saved more of those shots, and unless our attacks were just random shots. But I didn't actually watch that game. I only watched highlights and stuff and look at the stats for that game. But surely he could have done better to win us that game, because there's no way a team should lose with like 25 shots to 5 or whatever it was. So I'm not saying we get rid of him. I'm hoping he just starts next year better than that. And I think players like Shaqiri, I'd love to see him play. I'd love to see him play as like a fullback for when Salah's injured, or for whatever reason we are resting him. Because he seems to bring a lot of energy and excitement to the side, which I think I like as a person, as a supporter. I like to see that energy. It feels more aggressive and attacking, and we look more confident when he's on the field. I find he brings a lot of confidence from what I've seen. He brings a lot of confidence and energy to the field, which I think is very good, especially the way we play. Also panics the defenders as well when you're doing things quick and aggressively. They panic. They don't have much time to think. I feel like for his career, realistically, if I was him, I'd want to move on, because although he's getting trophies, he's wasting the last few years of his last few good years of his career away sitting on the bench. And if I was him, I'd want to move. We do have a few young kids coming around in the midfield. I don't think Forlan needs much buffing. I think Origi for now is good enough, but in future we should look for another striker. I wouldn't consider, like, Firmino is not a striker. Like, look at the amount of goals he scored this year. He's more of like a centre forward. He creates more goals than he actually scores. I feel like we do need to find someone as like a striker, because I feel like, as I said in previous videos, it's easier for you to change when someone leaves, to change how you play a little bit, to equate for someone who plays a normal striker role, than to try and find someone and manipulate someone's game to fit into the way Firmino played. And I feel like having that other striker who's more of a out-and-out striker instead of playing like Firmino does is important for our future. And maybe if Firmino gets injured, we can just change our style a bit and have him in, because I don't think Origi, as much as I love him, I don't think he's quite good enough to be a constant first team striker in Liverpool at the moment. He may be. He's shown he can be, but I don't know if he is consistently enough. Apart from that, midfield's fine. Our midfield's stacked, really. Then I'm looking for more. Thiago Dinglo. I've seen stories about Thiago in the last few days when Klopp, in a video before I stopped uploading, so I stopped uploading for almost 2 weeks. Before I stopped uploading, I did a video where Klopp had actually said they are not pursuing Thiago. And I'm still seeing now on my phone on OneFootball stories about Liverpool pursuing Thiago. When Klopp had said himself they are not pursuing Thiago. I don't get why. I think midfield's fine. We've got a few young players coming through, as I said. I'm not sure what's happening with Rian. I think he might be going back to Swansea. My mate agrees with me. I always bring my mate into it, I don't know why. But he agrees with me. He might go back to Swansea on another loan. Depending, he's done pretty well. He scored 10 goals in 21. I'm not sure if he'll ever really play for us properly, Rian. He might. You'll have to wait and see. We've got players like Harvey Elliott as well and Curtis Jones who are coming through. Yeah, exciting to see what that will do. We've got Takumi Minamino, who's played well in the game he played in the last game of the season against Newcastle. Almost scored a great goal, just tapped away by Dubravka from the corner. But he looks promising. I thought he looked like a bit of a waste of money at first, but from that game, what I saw, he looks like he could do something in our squad in the future, which I'm excited about. This has been JDS. Thanks, bye. See you next time. See ya.